Hello and welcome to Sunflower Philosophy Tarot. My name is Juliana, and today's Timeless Pick a Card reading is going to be a check-in about your career and finances and any guidance that might be relevant for you right now around your career and finances. So in order to help you select the groups, I have 3 groups, and I have selected a Law of Attraction money card for each group. I haven't really used this deck before, but I figured since we were talking about career and finances, we might as well use it. And whether or not you're interested in like Law of Attraction teachings or principles, I feel like there's always something in every perspective that can be useful. So we're just going to use these messages to enhance any messages that we get about your career and finances right now. So before I actually show you each of the cards and talk about the groups, I do want to begin with a brief centering exercise. I did this in my previous video and I really enjoyed that, so I thought I'd do it in this one as well, but I'm going to do it before I show you the groups and then get into the rest of the readings. So if you don't really want to stick around for this, you can skip to the group selection or even skip to your group if you already know which one you want to pick. But if you want, feel free to just stick around and we'll do a little brief centering exercise to get you really relaxed and calm and ready to receive any of the messages that are meant for you and just help you be in a state that is as aligned as possible so that you can more readily interpret and understand what is truly for you and what might not be. So let us begin. So if you are joining me for the centering exercise and you are able to, please take a seat in a nice comfortable area. If you're in a nice quiet safe space, that's the best place for this, but you can also follow along no matter where you are, as long as you're not closing your eyes while you're driving or doing anything like that. Make sure that you're able to at least take a moment to center yourself and breathe and relax a bit. So if you're able to do that, then please take a seat, get comfortable, relax, and no matter where you are, as long as you are able to, please begin to bring your attention to your breathing. Just notice your breathing. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. And as you do so, you may notice your breathing begins to deepen and maybe even slow down a bit. Just allow your attention to remain on your breathing. And you may, at this time, be called to bring your attention down into your heart space, the center of your chest or even your physical heart in that area. And notice any sensations that might arise in that area as you bring your attention to it. And feel free at this time to either label these sensations as they come up, if that feels right, or you may instead decide not to label them and just allow the sensations to take place. And you may begin to imagine that you are actually breathing through your heart space, inhaling through your heart, and exhaling through your heart. Continue allowing and imagining, and if you feel called to at this time, you may also introduce the memory or feeling of a time when you felt a deep sense of love, appreciation, or peace, anything along those lines that you would like to invite into your experience right now. If there's a memory, a person, a place, a thing, anything that brings that feeling to you. Call it to mind and allow that feeling to fill your body. And you may not even need a specific memory. You may prefer to simply focus on that feeling and allow your subconscious to call that feeling to you without the need for a specific representation of that feeling. And continue to allow whatever sensations arise in you to arise. But if you are imagining and feeling appreciation, love, gratitude, peace, any of those sensations now, imagine that that sensation is amplifying, filling the rest of your body, filling you with a sense of even deeper, more profound gratitude, peace, love, joy. And you may not need an image or memory anymore to call this feeling up. You can simply drop any associations you have with the feeling and just feel that feeling within you. And once again, if you are feeling sensations that are different than what we're imagining now, you can simply allow those to be and know that you can trust that is exactly what you are meant to be feeling and noticing right now. And you can just let it be and let it go. And now, I hope you are feeling more centered and in touch with yourself at this time. And know that throughout this reading and also throughout the rest of your day, you can always call your attention back to your heart space and back to your breathing and ground yourself. So thank you so much for joining me for the centering exercise. And now let's get into the group selection for this reading. So we have 3 groups today, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the intro, I have a Law of Attraction money card for each group that we'll use to select the group, and also for any additional messages that might help us in this career and finances reading. So first, we have group 1 with card number 53, Appreciation and Love Are Identical Vibrations. Then we have group 2 with card 22, 222, that might be an important number, and this says, the subject of money is really 2 subjects, ... And finally, for group 3, we have card 32 with my attention to it invites the essence of it. So feel free to pause the video if you need some time to select your groups, but you can go down to the pinned comment, go down to the, I lost it, what is it called? The section underneath the video. Listen, it's been a long week. The section underneath the video, the description. Yes, you can go down to the description and select your group, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, group 1. If you selected this card, then you are in the right place, and this is your reading all about your career and finances. So this is any messages from spirit, your spirit guides, or whomever regarding your career and finances right now. And so first of all, we have this Law of Attraction money card, which says appreciation and love are identical vibrations, and it's represented with the number 53, which is the number 8. Those numbers could be significant for you. We're going to read this card. Are we going to read it now? We're going to read it a little bit later. I think the first thing I actually really want to do is, we'll put this off to the side, and we will get some cards to represent the energy of what is going on with your career and or finances right now. And then we'll use this deck to get guidance, like further messages of guidance for the highest potential, the highest good, or whatever the highest possible outcome is for your career and finances right now. So whatever is going to lead you in the direction that is just most beneficial for you. So let's first tap into the energy of what is going on with your career and or finances. So obviously everyone has a different situation. So for some people, you might have a career, like a specific career path that you're following or that you're looking to follow. Some of you might, consider yourself someone who's more like you have a job or something that, you do for money, but it's not really your career, but you still might have an interest in looking into your finances and things that are going on there, and if there's any changes that are going on, things like that. And other people might be considering some kind of change in that area. So we're just going to tap into what's going on with you group ones in a general sense. And obviously, as always, please use your own discernment and your own intuition when deciding which messages are truly meant for you. You'll know, and you can trust yourself on that. And also take only the messages that resonate with you and leave anything that does not for everyone else. So, all right, group one, Spirit, let's tap into the energy that's going on in their career and finances right now. Let's get a feel for their situation right now. Okay, group one. So I just got your cards and started the reading, and then I noticed that the Judgment card had some like mild nudity on it, and even though it's really mild, I thought YouTube might be super sensitive about that. It has been for other videos, so I just covered it, and we're just gonna start over, okay? So I don't know where I cut this off. I don't know if I was able to get any of the message in before I needed to cover the card. So we're just gonna start over. So looking at the energy of your current, the current energy of your career and finances right now, I actually kind of want to, I should have done this before I started this, but I kind of want to move the Judgment card to the middle, because I feel like there is perhaps there's either a decision that you are contemplating making, have recently made, or are almost being forced to make, or a situation that is coming to, is culminating in some kind of way in your career and finances right now that's causing some kind of change or the necessity to make some kind of change. With the Eight of Cups, some of you could be contemplating walking away from a situation right now. And some of you could be contemplating moving towards a passion of yours in your career and finances, maybe leaving an old job to pursue a new one, leaving an old career path to pursue one that you're more passionate about. It could also be surrounding making a decision whether you're going to go for something in your career or job or finances area, or you're going to walk away from something, like an opportunity. It could be just one opportunity where you're deciding, okay, am I walking away from this, or am I just going to go for it? And there might be some feelings of impulsivity, either you feel like you recently made an impulsive move in this area, or you feel like if you did make the move that you were leaning towards, that it would seem impulsive or feel impulsive to you right now. Because we have the Knight of Wands here, and that can represent impulsivity, but it's also passion and bravery. And the Eight of Cups, it signifies walking away from something that might be emotionally unfulfilling. I also can see it sometimes as avoiding emotions, or for some of you, whatever's coming up in your career and finances right now, it's you could have spent a long time avoiding something that you can no longer avoid, which is causing you to feel like you need to act impulsively at this time in some kind of way. Having the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here, I feel like that could represent you. So you could be someone who feels like you're very financially stable right now, or you're looking to really build that financial stability. You want to find something that will help you become that King of Pentacles. So take it as it resonates. For others of you, this could also represent, a King of Pentacles could represent a person in your life right now who might either be able to provide you with some kind of financial support or stability or security, or might be providing you with that support. For some of you, this could also be a boss as well. So there could be something around contemplating asking for a raise, or contemplating maybe pursuing a promotion of some kind. asking for mentorship, asking for help, asking for aid in some kind of way from someone, whether in your workplace or in your life, alone maybe. But yeah, there's something here that feels like a decision that needs to be made, but it doesn't necessarily feel like one that you've had. It feels like for a lot of people there's like a situation that's culminated in such a way, or is culminating in such a way, that it's almost forcing you to really address something or make a decision on something that maybe has been a long time coming, whether you've been aware of that or not until recently. That's kind of vibe I'm almost getting here. But then for some of you, it could really just be like, okay, am I going to walk away from this thing, or am I going to go for this thing? Like, I need to make a judgment call, and it's really up to you which way you go. I do feel with the King of Pentacles here, like I said, either there's financial help available to you in the form of a person or establishment in your vicinity, or this is you, and this is like a reassurance of your current financial stability and your security in that area. So for a lot of you, you might actually be pretty stable in that way right now. And if you're not, then it's definitely something that you're working towards or you're looking to create. I mean, and who isn't? So I'm also going to, before I get the how many? Yeah, I'm gonna read the Law of Attraction money card now before I get the bottom 3 cards that are gonna be for guidance. So let's read it again. So we have number 53, again 8, and we have the 8 of Cups. 8 could be significant. Judgment is 20. And we have, on this card it says, appreciation and love are identical vibrations. And so if you're not like familiar with Law of Attraction lingo, vibration, it's just the idea that everything has like a vibrational frequency, like emotions and things like that, and energy. It's like all involving vibration. And so like the idea is what your vibration is attracts things of similar vibration to you. Physics, I don't know. it's yeah, if you're not super familiar with it, if we need to explain it more, we will. But let's read what it says on the back of the card. It says, appreciation and love are identical vibrations. Appreciation is the vibration of alignment with who you are. Appreciation is the absence of everything that feels bad and the presence of everything that feels good. When you focus upon what you want, when you tell the story of how you want your life to be, you will come closer and closer to the vicinity of appreciation. And when you reach it, it will pull you toward all things that you consider to be good in a very powerful way. So, appreciation is definitely important for you right now. And that could be instrumental to you if there is a decision you're making, or even a decision that you already made. That could be instrumental in you really making the most of this decision. And I feel like this King of Pentacles here, for a lot of people, is a reassurance and also a reminder to really, like this King of Pentacles, admire the security, the whatever you've built for yourself already, the resources that you have in your life already, whether they are specifically monetary or they are other things that support you, people that support you, aspects of your life that support you. Appreciation is really important right now. And it can be really easy to get into that mindset of just feeling like nothing is ever enough and constantly feeling in survival mode, especially if you maybe grew up in that kind of mindset and situation. And it can be easy to fall back into that, but it's also something that you can work to shift. You can work to shift your focus onto appreciating things more, and find that balance between being open to receiving more and being open to the idea that you can always have more, that you always have enough, that you always have resources available to you, and then also being able to look at your life and say that you already have quite a lot available to you that you might not always be appreciating or looking at or really giving, your love and attention to. And that's something to remember, is that, like, for those of you for whom the message is about there's people or a person or an entity around you that can maybe support you at this time if you need extra support. For those of you for whom that resonates, there could be some hesitation to take on some kind of support because of a feeling of pride, feeling like you want to do something in a certain way and you don't want to you don't want to have to ask for money from someone or from this or from that. And while obviously your situation is unique, and obviously if there's anything going on that makes you unsafe to ask for money from someone, or like, it's not about making yourself beholden to another person or a system that is really not good for you and not helpful for you. It's not about that, but it's more like, is there anything you're holding yourself back from taking on out of pride that maybe if you just let that go and you allowed the support to come in, would actually provide you with what you need right now to take the steps that you need to make. Like, for example, if you were leaving a job and you actually, say you have like family who would be willing to house you while you're looking for a new one or while you're getting something else started, but you are feeling like, I'd really rather not do that, I don't want to be a burden, or I feel like I would be judged, or I'm judging myself for this and I feel bad about it or whatever. But that would actually be a decent, safe option for you and might actually be an opportunity for you to just relax and maybe take a break and reset yourself and get yourself back on your feet. The universe might be asking you to allow that to happen and allow, if that's the path of least resistance right now, allow for that to be your safety net and help you feel more secure in yourself so you can take the best steps moving forward rather than throwing yourself at the next possible thing that might not really be for you without taking the time to really get in touch with yourself and maybe decompress from whatever situation you're leaving. So that could be a message for someone here, but let's get into the guidance from the cards and see what guidance your spirit guides have for you surrounding your career at this time. So group 1 spirit guides, what guidance do you have around group 1's career and finances at this time? And as I'm doing this, by the way, obviously I'm not a financial expert. I'm not here to advise you on monetary matters in a really I'm not a financial advisor, I'm reading the cards and I'm giving you the energies and helping you hopefully get a new perspective on certain things and weigh your options and have a new source of input, but it's ultimately up to you. And just feel it out like you would do with any other reading. So let's see, group 1, we're gonna get 3 cards across here for guidance. And I'll take the bottom of the deck if it resonates as well. So what do you have for group 1 spirit guides in terms of guidance for their career? Okay, well, that's 4 cards, but thank you. I'm gonna put it back in, and if we need those 4 cards, you'll send them back out again. If not, send out 3 different cards, please. Guidance for group 1. Guidance for group 1, please, around their career and finances. Okay. Guidance for group 1 around their career and finances, please. Another card for guidance, please. Oh my gosh. They've got a lot to say, I guess, because a lot of cards keep popping out. Please, let's get another card, guidance for, okay. And another card, please. Okay, that's 3. You know what? That's okay. That's all right. Ooh, I'm gonna need to cover this up too. Let's do this, and this. That. Okay. I had to take a moment to cover up another card there. And also they gave me like more cards than I wanted, but this is fine because I actually feel like there is a message in those, so I took them. All right, so first things first, guidance for you around your career and finances. There's definitely a need for you to be honest with yourself about things, about your situation, about how you feel about things, about maybe some patterns that you have around money and finances, and maybe or your career situation at this time. For example, your workplace, your employers, your fellow employees, if you have those, your business situation, things like that. There's a need to definitely be honest with yourself about where you're at in like the cycle of your career as well. With the Wheel of Fortune, because everything goes in a cycle, and so there's the start, middle, end of things. And for some of you, you might be ready to start something new. For others of you, you might feel like you're still in the middle of this venture, whatever is going on in your career and finances. And for others of you, you might feel like you're really at the end. And so it's time for you to really start being honest with yourself about those kinds of things. And also, this is to let you know that if you've really been working on like being honest with yourself about things, that might be, because let's see, I was gonna say like that might be difficult to be honest about, but let's actually unpack that for a second, because why are we ever dishonest with ourselves? Usually that comes from a place of being uncomfortable with the truth, feeling like the truth says something bad about us or bad about our situation, feeling like the truth maybe like is overwhelming, or it puts more pressure or stress on us than like a denial would. But actually, this was even, I was reading All About Love by Bell Hooks earlier, and she talks about the importance of honesty, and that book's all about love and how that impacts our relationships with people. But it's really, love is like related to everything. It's your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your job. All of these things are related to each other, and your relationship with money as well. So yeah, there's honesty is something that really unburdens you. It's kind of like sometimes you don't realize how heavy the burden of like being dishonest with yourself and or being dishonest with others is until you actually put it down and speak your truth, or acknowledge your truth within yourself and let it be what it is in that moment. And so there might be something like that going on for you guys right now. And this is an important part of where you're at in your career cycle. So this is a very interesting message. So yeah, and then there's lots of different things this could be about. It could be honesty in terms of being real with yourself about what you need right now to be successful in your career, being honest with yourself about if you're really happy in the situation that you're in, or if you're maybe holding yourself back from pursuing something different out of fear, being honest with yourself about what you really want. And sometimes that can also be scary, because sometimes we feel like if we are honest with ourselves that we're dissatisfied with something, that will just make us feel worse, because we'll admit that, yeah, this isn't satisfying me, but we also won't know how to then fix it, quote unquote, or like change that. But of course, the irony in that is that if we keep ourselves stuck in a cycle of being in denial about something, we don't give ourselves the chance to make it better, right? We get the chance to make something, to change something, when we acknowledge it for what it is. And it also usually takes the teeth a bit out of the problem, because something that you like shove down and refuse to look at always or often feels bigger than it does once it's out. I almost said out of the closet, but like out in the open. Like it's like when you look at it in the light, whatever was hiding in the dark, you could see it now. You see all the details, you see all the things about it that like you can change, or that you can address, or that you can do something with, and it just feels less daunting and less overwhelming. It's just kind of when we are refusing to look at it that it can feel like such a burden or a scary thing that we don't understand. And so I feel like, yeah, maybe you've been caught in like some kind of loop of denial around your finances recently, and you would know, like, this would really kind of bring something to light for you right now, or it could be something that you're already starting to become aware of. I feel like, if this is true for you, it's gonna ring a bell. Like, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, because there's an opportunity here to close off a cycle of playing the fool with yourself, and this is like a mental cycle as well. It's like all about your perspective. It's about how you see the world, how you see things, how you see yourself, and maybe how you see your finances. It's like you're being encouraged to close the loop and to take a step back and take a bigger perspective on something. And for a lot of you, I love this card out here, the bottom of the deck, because it's the Two of Swords. And so I do feel like a lot of you are in the midst of some kind of decision related to your career and finances. Like I was talking about with this Judgment card up here. And in order to really know what the best choice is, if that's what you're going through right now, is making a choice, is to figure out what you're in denial about. And again, you should, it's probably not that difficult to figure it out. And just look at it, just look at it for what it is. I also want to look at what's under this. Justice. Okay, yeah, justice. So there's some kind of justice that needs to happen, and it might be justice that you need to bring to yourself, in terms of, like I said, like being honest with yourself and others is honoring justice in a way, because justice is about truth, right? Justice is about honesty. And because this King of Swords is reversed, I really do feel like this is about you being honest with yourself first and foremost in your career area right now. Really just looking at it in the moment and saying, like, and being honest about how you feel, being honest about what you've been thinking, being honest about any like cycles or belief systems that you notice that you have around your career and finances, and just getting that out in the open, so to speak, for yourself, And yeah, those of you for whom like you're further along in the process, you probably already know what I'm talking about. You might even already be working on that, and you might already be aware of exactly what I'm talking about right now. And this is just a reminder to keep being honest and direct with yourself, and, just don't allow yourself to really face you. Oh, and I just heard, like, specifically face. What might be helpful for some of you is if you are looking at like two distinct options or two distinct paths that you could take right now, or multiple distinct paths that you can take. Like, take each decision that you could make and like almost like meditate on where the decision would be coming from if you took each path. So like, for example, if your decision was to just like, for example, stay at a job or leave it to pursue something else, be really like, get really real with yourself about whether you'd be staying out of fear of like the unknown, or whether you'd be staying out of a commitment where you're like, no, like I can push through this. I know there are steps I can take to make my situation better. I can, are you leaving basically out of fear and avoidance, or would you be leaving out of like, doing the right thing for yourself? Like, finding a situation that treats you better, or finding a situation that you're more passionate about. Are you being propelled by avoidance and fear? Or are you being propelled by, or rather held back by avoidance and fear? Or are you being propelled by passion and self-love and appreciation? And it doesn't really, like, you don't need to, like, there might be a lot of judgment that you have in yourself that makes it hard for you to be honest with yourself about this, but you don't even need to like leap to any kind of conclusions when you sort of start to unearth the real reasoning behind whatever moves that you're looking to make. You can just look at that and say, okay. And it doesn't have to change your actions in the moment. It doesn't even have to change your decision. But I would say, like, for a lot of you, you just need a moment to really, really tap into what's going on underneath the surface, and notice if you're being pushed out of a sense of fear, or being pulled out of a sense of like yes, this is really for me, this is really what I want to do, or yes, this is really what feels right for me, because sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes something that feels like a scary step is also the step that's more healthy for us. And there's a part of us that's just afraid of the, unknown of it. And there's another part of us that's like, just like, no, you need to let this go. And then other times we're really actually wanting to avoid things that are difficult that we can actually work through, that actually can improve if we step up and maybe face some of the things that we've been avoiding in that situation, in that job environment, in your finances overall. That if you just face them and you don't run away from your problems, like, are you running away from your problems, or are you running towards something better, right? Like really, really being honest with yourself about that. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's really just what is true for you. And so there's a lot of introspection that can happen here. But again, like, I think this would be the culmination of ending a really significant cycle for you in the way that you think about this area of your life and about yourself in this context. And it could be actually a really great opportunity for you because, we have the Wheel of Fortune in the world here, and those are really significant cards about cycles. And one is about like, just in general cycles going up and down. It's just natural that things have, their season, and then they go out of season, and then they come back in season. Like, that's normal, and being okay with that. And then we have the world, which is really like zooming out, seeing the bigger picture of everything, and seeing the wholeness of everything that's going on. Having that bird's eye view, having also the ability to really just close out of something that's no longer working. Like, you take that step back and you can see the full picture and say, okay, like, I'm ready to move on from this thing, or I'm ready to step up and do this thing, or, what have you. But yeah, I think there's just been some difficulty maybe really understanding where you're truly coming from with some kind of decision around your finances that you just need to dig into a bit more, and have the courage to just really feel into what is honest, what is true. And sometimes it'll be clear right away, and it might honestly feel a little bit painful at the onset to like admit something, but once you do, it really does lift that burden. And for some of you, it also just might take some time for you to kind of like really get to the root of what's true for you, what's real for you. It just kind of depends on where you're at emotionally right now and like what's going on around you. But I would say please be as patient with yourself as you can, and know that that there's some, like with this King of Pentacles here, there might be support that you either already have or that you can get around you that could really help you feel more secure and be able allow you to take your time when you're making whatever decision that you might be making right now around your finances. So I hope that resonated. I hope that was helpful. And if you appreciated that reading and you feel called to, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to check out our tarot services, and we also have hypnosis and human design services on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com. Please check out the link in the description. I'm in the process of adding some options as well to our store. We just added a store with options for you to receive a written, emailed personal reading. So that's in our store, and then we have a recorded reading and also a one-on-one option as well. That's in our services. So those will be linked below. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. But yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading very soon. Bye. Hi Group 2, if you selected this card, then you are in the right place, and this is your reading, which is a check-in on your career and finances and any guidance from your spirit guides around any like actions you should take or things that you should just be aware of regarding your career and finances at this time. So we have this card, which I'm going to read a little bit later. I'm going to put that right over here for now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by getting a few cards to just represent the energy that your career and finances is in right now. So what energies are surrounding your career and finances at this time? And of course, the semantics will be different for everyone. Some people might feel like they have a specific career path that they're on right now or are looking to pursue. Other people might feel like they don't really have a career. They have jobs. They have different, ideas about what they want to do with their finances and things like that. Some people could be business owners or starting a business. We know there's so many different ways that this can manifest for people. And some people might be in like a family system or unit where they might not be the main one dealing with finances, but are still involved and obviously concerned about finances as well. So just take whatever resonates for your situation, use your intuition, and leave anything that's not for you for other people. So let's get started for group two. And also, yeah, the fact that you got 22 on your card, I just love that. So yeah, 222 and just the number 2 might be important for you right now. But okay, yeah. So group 2's spirit guides. Let's tap in. Let's take a look at the energy surrounding group 2's career and finances right now. Let's just get a better idea of what's going on with group 2's career and finances right now. Group 2, we're getting 3 cards. So, okay, group 2's career and finances. And last but not least, another card for group 2's career and finances, the energy surrounding it right now. Please have a card pop out. Please have the card pop out. All right, this one popped out. Let's take it. All right, so far in this group, we don't have to cover up any nudity, so that's nice, because YouTube can be really sensitive about that. I'm gonna move this down here, and I'm gonna put this card over here, bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, we have the 8 of Cups, we have the Hermit, and we have the 5 of Cups. Okay, so what is going on with your career and finances right now? Okay, so this Queen of Swords, I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this could represent you. It could also represent a female figure in your life that is either involved with your career and finances, or maybe you go to seek advice often about your career and finances, that area of your life. Or someone who you might be considering seeking advice from, I'm not sure. This feels though like a Queen of Swords type is someone who's not necessarily like out here giving the advice readily, but someone who lets people come to them. And maybe for someone here could be a financial advisor, or could be considering taking on a financial advisor, getting a financial advisor for some kind of situation or venture that they're in and that they have. I do feel like a lot of people here are feeling like they need to seek some kind of guidance, though. And it's interesting because we have the Queen of Swords looking at the 8 of Cups. We have the Hermit looking at the 8 of Cups, shining his light on it. There was a message in the previous group 1, regarding some kind of honesty. And that was specifically about self-honesty. There could be an energy here around your career and finances where there's some kind of truth that you are speaking or needs to be spoken to someone in your life, or like you need to speak it out loud, or like you need to seek advice or seek help or seek investment. I don't know, that's I don't know if that's quite what's coming through here, but there's something here about like seeking some kind of advice, seeking some kind of answers maybe. And it could be around some kind of decision. With the 8 of Cups reversed, there could be some kind of internal conflict, like emotional conflict, about whether to leave or stay in some kind of venture. The 8 of Cups came out in group 1 as well, but it was a slightly different vibe. There was a possibility of group 1 maybe needing to make a decision about leaving or staying, but it was kind of like a different energy in terms of like it could have really been a lot of different scenarios. This one's almost more like it's like within yourself, there's some kind of emotional detachment that you might need to resolve around. This is weird. Okay. I'm gonna do something a little different for you guys. I'm gonna get your guidance cards now, because that might actually shed a little bit more light here. But there's definitely some kind of emotional detachment is the word that keeps coming to me. Some kind of emotional detachment that either you need to like become more emotionally, because like we have the Queen of Swords here, and Swords is a very like mental energy, you know, it's an airy energy, it's intellectual. And with the Hermit, that's kind of Virgo, that's very you dig deep within yourself. It's introspection. With the Eight of Cups reversed, that feels like an inner, some kind of inner conflict or inner, something like within you that needs to be resolved. And the Five of Cups here, another emotions card, that's denoting often a tendency to maybe look at what's not working as opposed to what is. And there was a similar message in group 1 as well about appreciation, about being able to look at what you have, what's available to you, and appreciating what you've already built for yourself in your life. In this one, this is really like it's almost like there's some kind of emotional cycle in your life that is related almost to your career or finances in some way, like some kind of something that you might actually be at this time becoming aware of, or becoming more aware of, or looking to address. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's like this is almost maybe this is you, like the Queen of Swords and the Hermit. Queen of Swords could be another figure, like I said, a female figure, or just like feminine figure, or energy of someone who like you go to for advice, or who gives advice to you, or is related in this area, or speaks some kind of truth. But it could also be a part of you, like looking at an aspect of yourself internally, and analyzing it, really shedding light on it. And it could pertain to perhaps a tendency to, for some of you, maybe avoid things out of a fear of becoming emotionally attached, or a tendency to become so emotionally attached to certain things that when those things maybe don't work out the way you expect, or when things don't go the way that you want to, you're unable, or you find it difficult to detach from those things, those old things that might be used up or spilled or just no longer working. A difficulty to detach from that and turn your attention to that which is still available to you, or which is a new opportunity for you, or like seeing the glass half empty repeatedly as opposed to seeing the glass half full. Seeing what you've lost more readily than you see what you've gained. But okay. So I guess we got a little bit more into it before I even got to these cards. But I'm gonna still pull them. So group 2 spirit guides, to enhance this message and to give them guidance like I was gonna do anyway, please give me 3 cards for group 2, guidance around their career and finances at this time. Guidance around their career and finances at this time. I feel like whatever's going on with your career and finances, it's related to some kind of internal situation that you're looking at right now. Like, it might not be so much about an external situation in your career, or you might feel like the resolution to some kind of, so whatever is going on in your external career and finances right now is related to, or is reliant upon, some kind of internal emotional state, internal way of processing things that that you have going on right now. Like, it might be dependent on that, like, or you might be more focused on like your perspective, your emotional perspective, than you are on like making some kind of financial decision right now. Like, it might just be like becoming more at peace with yourself, like wanting to really become more at peace with yourself and in doing so, like in some way, either you believe this will impact your finances positively, or you're being encouraged that this is related to your finances, like whatever this sort of internal exploration that you're currently doing is right now. Which could have to do with self-honesty. It could have to do with really looking at your patterns, and it could be some kind of pattern of avoidance, honestly. Like it could be some kind of pattern of avoidance that might not even be only in your career and finances, but it could be a general pattern of avoidance to avoid disappointment. And that could be holding you back in your career because you might be afraid to maybe take another step in your career, take a risk, or ask for a promotion, or ask for more, or try something new, because you might be afraid of disappointing yourself and or others. And you might actually be aware of this right now, like you're becoming aware of it. And you might be like, you could be seeking counsel right now. This person, Queen of Swords, could also be a therapist, or like I said, a financial advisor of some kind, if it's really focused on your career. But if this is like a general pattern that you experience that is just impacting your career, but it's also like a broader part of how you live your life, like a therapist or someone who you trust, like a trusted confidant, you might be seeking advice from or learning from right now at this time, related to your emotional life, especially around disappointment, especially around maybe shame or fear regarding like letting people down, letting yourself down, that holds you back from taking chances, taking risks, stepping towards something that you're interested in or that might be exciting for you. And I feel like that is something that you're looking at right now, like you're aware of and or becoming aware of. And yeah, either you know already this is related to your career and it's impacting your career, or this is a heads up to you that this is something that's also, like, as you're addressing it, as you're looking at it, as you're working through it, it's going to improve your career prospects. So, okay. Guess we didn't necessarily need to get more clarifiers. I got there, but let's read this card, then we'll get you your guidance. So we have the Law of Attraction card that says the subject of money is really two subjects. The subject of money is really two subjects. 1, money, plenty of money, and 2, absence of money, not nearly enough money. Often people assume that because they are speaking the words, I want more money, they are speaking positively about money. When you are feeling fear or discomfort as you speak, you are not speaking of the subject of money, you are speaking of the subject of not enough money. And the difference is very important, because the first subject brings money and the second holds it away. And I feel like this relates to what we've just talked about, because I feel like what the energy around your career and finances right now is what you're becoming aware of around how you hold yourself back in general for fear of lack, for fear of not being enough, or not being able to get enough, letting yourself down, letting someone else down. And that relates to money, because that's like it's a very lacking mindset. And so when you are constantly coming from a place of I am not enough, I don't have enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, all of those things are just a perspective, they're not true. But when you're coming from that perspective, you're automatically going to push away opportunities that might bring you more money, right? You're not going to see them, or you're not going to see yourself as worthy of them. And that's something that I'm sure if you're currently focused on and realizing about, maybe like some kind of thought pattern that you've had or way of being that you've had in your life. I'm sure you're aware of how that's impacted you and how that can impact you, but it's also, something that plenty of us are familiar with and have also dealt with. And it's really powerful once you start to realize where you've been holding yourself back because of maybe some misconceptions that you've had around yourself, and what you're worthy of and what you're capable of. And, this feels like a really powerful turning point for you. But let's get some more cards for guidance and really see what Spirit wants to say. So Spirit guides of group 2, please give me some guidance, 3 cards of guidance for group 2's career and finances at this time. Yeah, we'll take them. All right. And give me one more, please. Okay, is this upright or reversed? Is this card upright or reversed? Okay, we'll go with reversed. And the fact that the High Priestess is under the Hermit, I don't know, I like that. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it's funny, the bottom of the deck for, at least for, oh, there's no nudity. Thank God, thank you for not having any nudity on these cards. YouTube's really sensitive. So yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Great sign, we love that. That's the feminine energy, like being open to receiving. And so I feel like, yeah, a lot of you are working on being open to receiving because you want to be, you're working on feeling worthy in yourself. You're looking at places where you've been avoiding things out of a fear of emotional disappointment, right? Avoiding opportunities. And that's coming from a place of a lack of self-worth. And so your guidance is to continue working on nurturing yourself, on really developing your self-esteem. And that can take time, you work on that, you build that, but it's something that as soon as you acknowledge, you might be lacking in that department, you might have dealt with a lot of, thoughts and feelings around your self-esteem that are low and that are just not positive, that are really discouraging for you. It just takes a little bit of time to readjust, and retrain yourself to see yourself in a new way. And with the Magician and the King of Wands here, which popped out first of all, the Magician is the person who has all the tools. So this is a reassurance for right off the bat, in the form of guidance, that you have all the tools that you need already to really make the life that you want to make and be the person that you want to be. And it's just a matter of picking up those tools, using them, seeing them for what they are, and really valuing, like learning to value what you have created for yourself, and also learning to value yourself just for who you are, right? This also could be indicating that maybe you have a tendency to measure your worth based on what you have, and it's, again, like coming back to that idea that you are not what you have, your worth is inherent to you. And we grow up in families and households and societies at this time that often give us the opposite kind of message, and there's so much I could say on that topic, but I'm not trying to get into all of that right now. But just remember, we live in a world where advertising right now, for example, relies on teaching people that they're lacking in things, and that if they just get this thing, then they'll be a better person, then they'll be worthy, then their life will be better. And that's the kind of repetitive message that we often hear from commercials and anyone who's advertising anything, really. That's often the way that people are trained to think. It's the more you see that, the more your subconscious starts to believe it. Being conscious and aware of that helps you start to combat that, helps you start to recognize that that's not actually reality and that's not true. That's just, a way people try to sell you things. And it can really seep in there and get into your self-worth. And it's something that is also a product of like the larger society we live in. And depending on how you grew up and who you are to the people around you, you could have been taught that, you are someone who is not worthy inherently. And even if, there's things where even if you are aware that they logically don't make sense, like that you're aware that, that's not true, it can still impact how you view yourself and how you view others, because like when you're very little and you're taking things in, from the world around you, a lot of stuff just gets in there and like becomes part of your perspective without you realizing it. And I think that you're at the stage of starting to realize some of those things, like it's really starting to like come to your awareness right now. And that's a really powerful moment, because that's the moment that you really start to feel like this magician. So yeah, this guidance is to really step into that magician mode, feel like, wow, like I actually am powerful, I actually am worthy, I actually have all the tools. Now what am I going to do with them, right? Like you could do anything, right? And this King of Wands here, the King of Wands, this is a masculine energy of action, Wands is action, fire, passion. This is really encouraging you to take action with use the tools that you have. Take action with them. Take some kind of action in your, it could be in your career, but it could also be like for some of you, this could be even more general because it's like this is I feel like for a lot of you, this is really bigger than just your career and finances. This is your whole life, right? But since we're focusing on career and finances right now, it could be, taking some kind of action in your career that is in the direction of your passion and or in the direction of really standing up for yourself and being affirmed of your own worth. And also the King of Wands is very charismatic, very confident. So really stepping into your confidence, fostering and nurturing your confidence so you can take actions from a place of confidence. And with the High Priestess in reverse here, this really also emphasizes that this starts within. This is something that you cultivate within first, and then you act on it outside in the world. And the fact that it's coming up underneath the Hermit is also reversed, and that can mean... So the Hermit is like, to me, both of these cards talk about internal, like intuition. They both talk about your internal world, very much about your and to me the High Priestess, it's like being like the feminine version. It's like your intuition, it's kind of effortless. It's not an action that you take, it's like something that you flow with. You let vibes come to you. You really it's something that you're just in tune with. It just is. Whereas the Hermit card is like the act of going within yourself and uncovering like where your thoughts and actions and feelings are coming from right now, so that you can remove anything that's not actually like you or like defining who you are, and therefore get you more in touch with your intuition. And for some of you, you might not feel like you're very in touch with your intuition. And that's the thing, is like a lot of times we are, but we don't always know that what we're acting on or what we're feeling is intuition. You sometimes just need to learn that through like action and through life. And so for a lot of you, as you're going through this process of excavating yourself and learning more about like why you've been really avoidant of certain things and why you have maybe avoided like taking action and taking steps towards things that you really want in your life, you might feel like you want to always make the right decision, or you don't trust yourself right now, and you might not feel really tapped into your intuition. I feel like this is indicating that the best way for you to learn might just be to just start taking actions like that you've held yourself back from in the past, without thinking too much about it in terms of like, oh, is this my intuition? Is it not? Like, yes, you want to be aware of yourself and you want to keep, shining a light on the things within you that have been maybe hidden, or just like you've just started to become aware of. But it's also like, don't get too caught up on like figuring out mentally what your intuition is, like what you're intuiting. It's almost like take action, start doing, become more of a doer in that area, and you'll start to get more in touch with your intuition, because your mind and your thoughts and overthinking is what can cloud your intuition. Your intuition is very physical, it's very in your body. And like with the Queen of Pentacles here, I can also see her as being like a card that encourages you to really nurture your body, take care of your body, and get into your body, like not just your mind. So if you're a very heady person, you're a very mental person, you might be spending a lot of time really picking yourself apart and trying to figure out how you tick. And that's part of the process, but it's not the whole process. And if you're feeling like you're overthinking and you're really just getting more and more confused, or like you're just overwhelmed by like a lot of the stuff that you're realizing, like with trying to undo or understand your patterns and certain belief systems, it's like getting into your body and taking care of that, and taking time to get into your body by like meditating and like breathing into different parts of your body. And like in the centering exercise we did in the beginning of this reading, I say like, focus on your heart center, your chest, the center of your chest, imagine you're breathing into that, notice any sensations there. Yeah, so it's like getting bringing your awareness down into your heart, maybe into your gut, just all throughout the rest of your body, and being really intentional about that, because that's where your intuition comes from. It's like not just your brain, it's not your mind. It's like your body registers things that your conscious mind doesn't register. It registers things before your conscious mind even registers them. And when you're cut off from that, when you're really just in your head, with this Queen of Swords, you might really be in your head a lot. If you're only in your head all the time, you're not getting all of the information. So if you're someone who's been really detached from your body for a long time, or you don't spend a lot of time being within it, not thinking about it in like a heady way, but like feeling it, like things like moving it, dancing, exercising, but presently, not just like exercising to exercise, but exercising while you're like really feeling what your body's feeling like, yoga, breathing, things like that, just like going outside and like sitting in the grass and like touching and feeling things, like things like that, just get you more into your body, get you more in tune with your intuition. And I feel like that will really help you get more in touch with the moves that you truly want to make and help you start to really tap into your intuition. I want to see what's under this Queen of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Yeah, I think this is really encouraging you to just focus on really nurturing and caring for yourself from a place of like true self-respect and gentleness right now. And especially if you are really in this current state of looking at like certain patterns around disappointment and avoidance and emotion, right now, sometimes it can be easy to be critical or to be frustrated with yourself as you're, working to maybe move into a more positive mindset or change some of the ways that you've been seeing yourself. Sometimes you can get frustrated with that, right? And this is saying like, shift your perspective and instead of trying to take on and fix, quote unquote, all these things that you're realizing and take it on as like a burden, it's more like use it as an opportunity, like just as a like it's just really like something for you that tells you that you just need to take care of yourself and really be gentle with yourself, because it's almost like this mindset may have been cultivated from almost like the opposite kind of attitude, like an attitude of like, oh, like, you got to do this and this and this, and if you don't do this, then you're not good enough, like, like that kind of like hard ass, like, really getting on someone's back and like deriding them and telling them they're not good enough in order to motivate them. It's almost like you need the opposite. You need like the gentle like love and care and nurturing that will help you move into this more positive mindset and a feeling of greater self-worth, because it's encouragement that's coming from a true place of love rather than a place of disrespect. And some of you might have really been disrespected and maybe have been disrespectful of yourselves for a long time. And that could be a painful thing to realize, because it's totally unnecessary. And once you realize that you don't need to behave that way and you start to really love yourself, sometimes you feel bad about that, right? Like, but that's okay. Part of being gentle with yourself is also being okay with where you've been and saying that that was just part of your journey, and this is also part of your journey to take care of yourself and then to move into a place where you have more respect for yourself. Yeah, I think a lot of you are really learning maybe about ways that you disrespected yourself, and possibly because you've been disrespected and been taught to disrespect yourself. And I'll say this, it could be from people around you, it could be societally, but I think a lot of this society does teach us to disrespect ourselves in favor of earning, in favor of getting more, and really defining ourselves by like what's outside of ourselves rather than just being able to be, and like respect that the human body has certain needs and needs more gentleness and care and attention and love, like treating yourself, your body, as like a beloved pet as opposed to like a workhorse, you know what I mean? So for a lot of you, that could be really what you're focusing on right now, and you're really being encouraged to really feel your self-worth, take action from a place of confidence, but also take action as a way to experiment with your intuition and to really start to get more in touch with what's truly your intuition and what's not. and to nurture yourself, take care of your body, and get really in touch with that so you can really bring your mind and your body together and allow them to work together to take care of you. And in turn, all of that is really going to help you in your career and finances in the long run, because it'll help you really see where you're worth more than maybe you've been asking for. There are opportunities you didn't have before, and also you might just begin to feel like you have enough, and you already and always have been enough, and also like appreciate more what you have in your life now, as opposed to feeling like you need something else to fill like you. Because I feel like for a lot of people, that's been the feeling, is that you need something outside of you to really fill your cup, when you're now learning how to do that for yourself, because you're becoming aware of where you've had the tendency to run away from that within yourself, to really like beat down on yourself, and realizing that you don't have a lot of like internal self-worth that you're now building up, which is exciting because you're worth it and you're worthy. And I'm always excited when other people are also taking on the journey of building their self-worth, because it just helps everyone else continue to do the same thing. And I love when people feel worthy, and I love when people start to at least open up to that idea, if it's, been a while, because I think most of us have been there, where we feel like we aren't worthy of things. And we'll all have our good days and our bad days, but ultimately, as long as you remember that the truth and the ultimate truth is that you don't need to earn anything, you don't need to, you are inherently like just worthy, just as a being, just like existing right now, and there's nothing you need to do or be or have, then, it's just, it makes the world, a kinder, safer, nicer place for yourself and for others, right? Okay, cool. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested, please like, comment, subscribe. That would be amazing and helpful. And also, if you are interested in any of our tarot services, I'm in the process of adding some new ones to the website as well. At the moment, we just added a store, and there's an opportunity to get some written personal readings emailed to you, or in our booking services section, we have recorded tarot readings or a one-on-one tarot reading session available. So if you're interested in any of those, please check them out. And we also have hypnosis and human design services. So yeah, just take a look. Link in the description, and I hope you have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye! Hi, Group 3. If you selected this card, then you are in the right place, and this is your reading. This is 32. My attention to it invites the essence of it, and I'll read this card later, but first we're going to just get a few cards to represent the energy of what's going on with your career and finances right now. Just get an idea of the energy surrounding that area of your life. As I said to the other readings, obviously the semantics will be different for people in terms of what you define as like your career, or if you feel like you really have a career, maybe you just have a job, maybe you are looking to change your career path, or maybe you make money in a different way. Maybe you aren't making money, but you are in a family unit where you're part of that unit, and finances are, part of your responsibility, or something that you're concerned about, whatever the case may be, whatever your individual situation. As always, use your intuition and take what messages resonate with you, leave what doesn't to everyone else. And let's get into, first of all, Spirit, the energy surrounding Group 3's finances. And actually, since I tapped into the energy of this group, I feel called to say that I feel very grounded, like more grounded than I was in the other groups. And I didn't do anything like yeah, this makes sense. Okay, wow. And let's get one more card, Spirit, please. Let's get one more card, please, for Group 3's finances, the energy surrounding them right now. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Hello. And And then what do we have on the bottom? I'm gonna put this. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Okay, well, first of all, in a career and finances reading, to receive the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles in terms of the energy surrounding your career and finances right now, oh, that's like really good. I would say that's like some really good finances energy. That's kind of like what you want to see. Because the 9 of Pentacles is like individual, like wealth, independence, financial independence, can mean like, it could also be about, having your own business, being a business owner, being, there's like a specific word I'm looking for. But yeah, like if you like are a small business owner, you just started your own business, or, you have, I don't know, whatever, that. So that could be something that for some of you is going really well right now, or you are starting right now. Like that's the path that you're on. And maybe you're still taking steps to establish that. The 10 of Pentacles is like long-term financial abundance that is like generational wealth that will carry through for your family and children and generations past, if you have any, but the idea is like, it's like more than enough money. Like this is like you having enough money for yourself, you support yourself, you're wealthy, you're independent, and this is like, this money is it's overflowing. It's funding, generations to come. Like it's a lasting solid source of income, or lasting solid like financial abundance. And we do have the 5 of Cups here, and the 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I want to, like, what's under that? Page of Pentacles. Okay. So, I feel like some of you might be in this energy, like 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, feeling really good about this. Some of you might be really struggling right now to get into the perspective of 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, like having more than enough, feeling set for life, feeling like you really truly have abundance now and that you will always have it into the future. And this is telling me, first of all, okay, I think there's a real emphasis here for this group on whether or not you feel like you have the evidence of this in your current reality or not. This is really emphasizing that for this group right now, a big focus is on getting into this emotional state, like as if this is the case, like really feeling this, because this group I feel like is really ready to move into that mindset and that like lifestyle of, I know that I have enough, I know that I will always have enough, and I trust that, and it doesn't matter like what I see outside of me. It's just like being so confident that the universe is supporting you, that you will always have enough for whatever will come up. Like sometimes it's hard to live in that mindset, especially when you're really in like survival mode, and switching out of survival mode can be as simple and as quick as really just sitting down and regulating your nervous system. Like sometimes that's just all we need to do. Sometimes it's more of a process if we've been in survival mode for longer, and that's more of a pattern for us. It can take time to get there, and there might be other things that you need to focus on before you get to that point. I do feel like for this group, you are really at that point where you have been working on your mindset for a long time, and you might really embrace this feeling of like, yes, the more I feel like I am independent, the more I feel like I'm living in like this, it's like, okay, it's like how do they say it? It's like the people who, like, I think it's like from Law of Assumption or something like that. Like instead of like, Law of Assumption is a little bit different from Law of Attraction, but they're all kind of like approaching the same idea just from different perspectives. But like if you're familiar with that, it's like the idea of like living in the end of what you want to create for yourself. So like living as if, living in the emotional state, mental state of someone who already has the thing, because that's what also brings the thing to you. It's like trusting that you already have, like, it's almost like in the energetic field, right? Your financial abundance is already there. It already exists. You have like a never-ending infinite bank that the universe is just ready to bring into your physical reality at any time, and in many different ways, maybe in ways that are unexpected to you, and just trusting that whatever you need will come to you when you need it, and then some, right? And really being in that mindset where you're able to look at the full cups rather than the empty ones. And so I feel like that's what this group is really working on right now. And so this is the energy surrounding your career and finances right now. So this would be something that you're aware of, that you've been working on, or that you've been really that resonates with you, that you really believe in, that you really feel this, and that you're still working on your perspective around this. But it's also like this energy is here, like this 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, like it's here. Like whatever you've been working on in your career creating, like you've been building up that momentum, like you've been building up that energetic field, like you have it, you have that feeling, that abundance, like it's here. It's really just that perspective that you are perhaps focused on or working on, or maybe at the time that you are watching this reading, you're in a state where you're maybe focused on lack or focused on what you don't have. And this is just refocusing your attention onto this feeling right here, right? This feeling of like, yes, I have enough for myself, and yes, I have enough for like, I'm creating something that will last for, and I have created something that will last for generations. Like I am overflowing with abundance, right? And right now you're working on balancing that. Like I think that you might be vacillating very frequently between, yes, I'm like feeling so great, I have so much, and oh my God, is this ever going to work out? Am I ever going to have enough? You know, whatever. No matter what your actual situation is, you might find yourself vacillating between those states a lot. But for right now, that might be because it might be helping you in the sense that the more like close together and quickly and the more extreme that you vacillate between, I'm on top of the world, I have enough, I have everything, I feel so abundant, I feel so great about where I'm going and what I have now, and oh my God, is anything ever going to work out? I'm so overwhelmed, this isn't working, nothing's working. The more like violently you vacillate between those two perspectives, closer together, sometimes the easier it is to see how it's really just a matter of perspective, and then you start to feel more empowered to really choose. So like you could swing into a really like lackful mindset and really be like, wow, just a second ago I was feeling great about this. Something's not right here. I don't have to have this feeling. And so you can take the steps to take a step back, calm yourself down, take care of yourself, and let go of that perspective faster than you might have in the past. And so I feel like you're in that like balancing state where you're maybe swinging between those two things, and you're really starting to really tip the scales and lean more towards that mindset of like, I've got this, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm going, and I have more than enough, and I feel that, right? And that really makes sense with this. My attention to it invites the essence of it. Like you're really learning about your attention, and you're learning right now where to place your attention, and how sometimes your attention is on like, you know, feeling great and like amazing with what you created and what you have and what you're working on. And sometimes your attention is shifted to other things that just don't feel like that. But I feel like that's really where you're meant to be right now, is really learning that and figuring that out. And I do feel like overall, like with the 9 and 10 of Pentacles being here, like you are more on this side of things than you are on like the looking at the spilled cup side of things. And you just keep feeding that, keep bringing yourself back to that state, because you're really building those neural pathways, you're building that pattern in yourself, that emotional pattern. Maybe you're really taking care of yourself right now too. Maybe you're really taking time to focus on gratitude. And for those of you who are maybe struggling with that, or right now you're not really feeling like you're in that state, it's like you've been doing a great job, you're ready for this, and those might be practices that can help you feel more in this state. But yeah, like that's like a great energy. It's pretty cool. Let me read this card and then get some guidance for you. So We have anything you are giving your attention to is an invitation to the essence of it. Saying, I want money, but it will not come is the same as saying, come to me, absence of money, which I do not want. When you are thinking of money in the way that will make it come to you, you always feel good. When you are thinking of money in the way that keeps it from you, from coming to you, you always feel bad. That is how you know the difference. Yeah. So it's kind of just like really simplifying that. Now, I know for a lot of people, obviously the process of getting in touch with your emotions, of getting yourself into a calm state, of getting yourself into a more positive mindset, it's often a process. It's something that is hard, sometimes at first feels hard to do, or in the moment sometimes feels hard to do. And we can really beat ourselves up if we feel like we're in a mindset that's more negative. But sometimes, and I think this is an issue some people take with the law of attraction and the way that it words things, is like if you also focus on, oh no, I'm putting my focus on the wrong thing. Oh no, I'm feeling bad right now. You're also inviting more of that bad feeling, right? And a way to take power from that is to also being like self-care, taking care of yourself, being gentle with yourself also means being okay that sometimes you're feeling some kind of way that you would rather not feel, and not giving that meaning in the moment, like not emphasizing that, just letting yourself feel your feelings, have a reaction or cry or maybe write down like what you're thinking and then let it go, right? Just move on to things. It's like not making a big deal out of it and not getting in the mental loop of like, oh no, I'm like thinking the wrong thing now, it's not going to happen now, what I want is not going to happen, I'm just going to, like letting your thoughts spiral. And I feel like a lot of you are doing a really great job with that and are probably working on that right now and are already aware of that. But yeah, I just want to make that clear. It's, not about being really militant and like puritanical with like your thoughts and your feelings all the time in a way that's like hard on yourself and that emphasizes when you fail. It's actually about more emphasizing like the feeling when you're in those feelings that feel good, when you're in those thoughts that feel good, emphasizing those and learning to de-emphasize the feelings that you prefer not to have, but like letting them be, not making a big deal out of it and just being like, oh, okay, yeah, like I feel a little down right now, that's all right, that kind of thing. And that could be a process. And there's like lots of different tools and things. Like I always talk about tools that I like to use to help myself feel better more of the time. And like, it's going to be different for everyone what works for you. But like, none of this is about beating yourself up for where you're at. And I do feel like a lot of you, the energy around your career and finances right now is really, really good. And I do feel like for a lot of you, you've really been focusing on your perspective. Like perspective is the thing that's been the biggest factor in your career and finances right now. Like I think for most of the people who chose this group, you're probably on a career path that you're satisfied with or you're excited about. You might, or you have an idea that you're excited about. Like I do feel like for a lot of people here, like you found your calling, you found like what you want to do, or you're okay with where you're at, and you're really just working on your perspective right now. So let's get some guidance. Let's see if Spirit has anything to really help you stay in this mindset and work on your perspective and help you balance through maybe some shifting emotions at this time. Let's see. So group 3's Spirit guide. What do you have for group 3? Yeah, for those of you where like you maybe don't see full evidence of this, like you don't, maybe, because like some people could like be really having a thriving business right now and maybe even have generational wealth, but like just not be feeling really like good about it. Like maybe just having to have a perspective shift on like, I actually have like a lot and I'm really excited about that. Some people might not feel that way or might be seeing less of that evidence at the moment, but just need the reminder that like abundance comes in a lot of different forms and a lot of different ways, and it can and things that are in, especially things in the future where you're like, I don't know if I could pay for that or this, sometimes things will just happen for you, like especially if you're open to it. Recently I actually out of the blue received a request for a painting commission, which is something that I don't even really advertise that I do anymore, but like I do. and it came out of the blue, and it was just a really a good timing on the opportunity, because I definitely was looking for like some extra cash at the time. So like that just happened out of the blue for me. Like I also have a friend who just gave away a bunch of art supplies to me because she's moving to back to her home country and she can't take them all with her, and like these are art supplies that I don't have to buy myself now, and some of it's stuff that I've actually wanted to use for my art for a long time, and now I just have that, right? When you open up and you focus on this kind of mindset, and keep that perspective, you find that you get gifts from the universe in like ways that you could have never planned or expected. So it's kind of like realizing that these resources are always available to you, and you don't have to worry or about that. And also like just being grateful and being like, wow, like thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for these art supplies. I'm really excited about this stuff. You know, I'm grateful for this stuff. It helps you open up to more of that, because the universe really loves to give to someone who's really excited to get, and vice versa. So, guidance. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna take that. I got the 5 of Cups again. So perspective is huge here for you guys. Temperance, yeah. Balance, again, huge. Yeah, balancing your perspective right now. That is really, I mean, and we have, let's see, is this upright or reversed? Spirit, is this upright or reversed? One more time, this is upright or reversed. Okay. Because at first it flipped over upside down and then it was reversed. Yeah, but we'll take this. Okay. But I think that's important too, the fact that it came out reversed and then upright, because it's another matter of perspective, right? Okay, and we have the 4 of Swords also on the bottom of this deck. Okay, so first of all, 4 of Swords, I heard meditation. So for some of you, meditation really just might help you with this perspective shift. Like really just being present in the moment with yourself, really just tapping into your body and like feeling into yourself. You might need some rest. Those of you who are struggling with perspective because maybe you're just like trying to do too much, or like you feel like there's like a lot of things that you need to do and you need to like be on top of everything. The universe wants to give to you in a way that doesn't require you to overexert yourself. And so those of you who might feel like you're overexerting yourself at this time are being encouraged to find ways to rest, to encourage yourself to rest, and to start to understand that you can receive from a place that is rested, that doesn't require you to be like overexerting yourself all the time. With the 5 of Cups here, it's really just like the 5 of Cups. Yeah, perspective. Keep shifting yourself towards the perspective that feels better to you, but also be gentle with yourself in the process, you know, and give more power to if you are really looking to live in a more positive mind state, practice giving more power to the positive thoughts and the positive feelings than you give to the negative or perceived negative thoughts and negative feelings. In that, you allow those feelings to come and go as they will, to experience them in the moment, without making them mean that you are doing anything wrong. Because a lot of people, I think, with the law of attraction, get caught up in the feeling that if they're feeling something that they don't like, they're feeling wrong, they're thinking wrong, and that in and of itself gives power to the thoughts that you don't want to be thinking and the feelings that you don't want to be feeling, right? And so if you paradoxically let yourself accept those feelings, accept those thoughts in the moment, and don't make them mean any more than just what they are in that moment, and practice that, then you will eventually put less emphasis on them, and they'll also become less like of a problem, quote unquote, in your mind, like, because they're not a problem. Your thoughts and your feelings, and they don't need to be a problem. Focusing on them, oh, I'm not being positive enough, I'm being too negative, I'm being this and that, that's encouraging more of that, because you're like, right? It's like a paradox, right? Like, you get it? You get what I'm saying? And And I feel like with this balancing of your emotions, there's also a need to realign your perspective on what is a success to you, what makes you successful, and what makes you a failure. Yeah, like the idea that like, yeah, because a lot of you might be seeing like having a more negative mindset in the moment, or like feeling like a quote unquote bad feeling in the moment. Like you might be seeing that as a failure. And that in and of itself is giving power to that idea that that is a problem when it just is, right? And so, yeah, needing to realign your perspective on that so that you are, and you could even do this in the way where it's like, no matter what I'm feeling, like, oh, I'm feeling sad right now, that's helping me. Oh, I'm feeling great right now, that's helping me. Oh, I just stubbed my toe and I got really annoyed. That's bringing me towards like the best, starting to really like turn your perspective around on things like that is really going to help you build that momentum behind just like living a more peaceful life, and also getting what you want in the process, like, right? And getting what's already yours. I think because this is already yours. I feel like energetically what's going on around you is like, this is already yours, and it's just a matter of like perspective on it right now. And it's just a matter of like getting into the perspective of like, yes, I'm open to that. Yes, I feel good about myself. And some of you might just need some rest in order to help you shift this perspective as well. But yeah, even like, oh, I'm feeling tired, this is working for me. It's helping, because like sometimes people think that like, oh, if I encourage that, if I say, oh yeah, being tired is good, it's helping me, then they're saying that, oh yeah, I want to be tired more. But it's like, not unless, you're just like focusing on it all the time. It's more like in the moment you're letting yourself accept whatever state you're in, so that you can also, let that go. Because the more that you focus on it and don't accept it, the more that you're in resistance to it, the more it persists, right? That whole thing. So some of you just need a reminder of that, because I feel like you are really doing great. And sometimes you just don't feel that way. And this is just reassurance that like, what you deserve is already yours, that that you have a whole energetic bank built up for you. So whether you see it in front of you right now or not, it's there. And yeah, it's just keep working on your perspective. You're doing great, sweetie. And yeah, there's just a little stuff around perspective here that you're working on, and where you put your attention is something that it's really important. And yeah, there's just something about that paradoxical nature of balancing yourself out, of not giving power to the emotions that you don't want to have, by also paradoxically allowing them to be in the moment, and not resisting them, not resisting that in the moment. That is just going to help shift you just a notch in the direction that will help you see and experience all of this more fully, right? Okay, cool. That was cool energy. That was great. And like I said, I felt more grounded in this group. I feel like a lot of you are working on grounding, and grounding might also be helpful to those of you who don't feel super grounded right now. Like, grounding is really important. Getting in touch with like feeling like sturdy, even like grounding exercises, like imagining you've got tree roots growing to the center of the earth, that kind of thing, being outside. But also like, I feel like a lot of you are grounded, like you're in the process of grounding a lot of really great things in your career right now, no matter what that looks like. And so I hope this resonated. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you feel called to, please like, comment, or subscribe. And I also want to let you know that we have some new tarot offerings I'm adding to the site. So we have some written emailed tarot readings available in our store on our website. And then we also have recorded tarot reading and one-on-one tarot service on our booking services page. So that's all linked below. And if you're interested, please check it out. We also have hypnosis services and human design services. So yeah, and of course, this is at the time of recording. Offerings could change if you're like listening to this way in the future, so just be aware of that. But that's what we have at this time, so feel free to check it out. And I will sorry, I just spaced out. It's been a long It's been a long day. This reading has taken a lot longer than I thought it would. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you again sometime very soon. Bye.